fine.
Then I go like Assalamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So we're going to do a recap on what we've been speaking about at Radio 786. We were talking about, when I was with Khadija, we were talking about, the theme was Sheltered in the Nursery. So we were talking about Maryam AS and how she was protected by Zakariah AS. The backdrop of that story obviously focuses on Bani Israel and, you know, a lot of the corruption and hypocrisy in that community. So to backtrack, we looked at how that is parallel to, for example, the inner narcissism of the family of Yusuf AS, because if you think about it, like the family of Yusuf AS becomes the nation. So it's just a social science of having these issues. If you think about statistically, like a certain amount of people are going to be narcissists, a certain amount of people are going to be sociopaths, a certain amount of people are going to be psychopaths, narcissists. Basically, you're going to have a certain amount of horrible garbage people that are corrupt, and therefore it's to be expected. So you're going to find that within the family dynamic, and then of course you're going to find that in the community, and typically within a religious community, you know, despite all the morals and all the idealism, we find that there is this corruption. So for example, we were discussing how they were withholding, you know, they were holding provision, and how they were exploiting those that were more vulnerable in society. And therefore, you know, if we take the woman, for example, women are supposed to be protected, they're supposed to be provided and protected, but we find that they were in a vulnerable position because of the greed and corruption. And that puts the woman in a more compromising position. And what do you want? So what do you want? So they were in a more compromising position, whereas Maryam AS, like, she's not putting herself out there to find a husband, she's not looking for a mate, but she is sheltered within the mihrab. She screens herself off from society, and then she finds she has fruits out of season. So what that indicates, and what we learn from that, is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the ultimate provider and protector. And it's an important lesson for us as women, like even as especially as Muslim women, because we've been warned that our community will follow those that came before us. So we see the same hypocrisy, we see the same corruption, we see the same nonsense happening. We're not seeing, you know, the women and the children and those more vulnerable being taken care of the way they should be. That's the reality. But as an individual, if you focus and you connect on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you know, like they say, those who put Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first, Allah will make a way out for them. So that is a huge part of that story. And then I think the more abstract details, I will leave that for another video, inshallah. Yeah.